To put it into perspective, Hampton to me was just like the boyfriend that you love, but he's just not the one for you. Hey guys, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be explaining why I am leaving HU, Hampton University. If you don't care why I'm leaving Hampton, feel free to click out the video. I don't care. But you'd be surprised about how many people have asked me,
why are you leaving Hampton? I thought you were having such a good time. All your Snapchats, you looked like you were so lit.
I'm gonna start off by saying that I enjoyed Hampton University. I'm not even gonna front. A lot of people in videos that when they ask why they're transferring, they're like, oh, I hated the school. By no means did I hate Hampton. I actually really enjoyed it. I wouldn't take it back for anything. I'm really glad that I was able to get away and go to Virginia and meet so many different people. I don't know what the schools are like in Texas, but at Hampton, you're able to meet people from all over the country. I met people from California, from the DMV, New Jersey, New York, so many different people, so many different cultures. I was able to see so many different things, and I had a really good time, especially first semester. Plus, since I've been at a predominantly white school my whole life, all 18 years, it was really good to go to an HBCU and be around black people, especially black people that are educated, that are wanting better for themselves, that are successful, that are thriving, lit. Everyone there is so lit. They're so fun to be around. So the people weren't it. It was really just the school, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to start off. I'm going to start saying there's a lot of reasons why I'm leaving Hampton. They're not necessarily small and trivial issues that I have with the university, but they pretty much added up, and I was just getting kind of tired of the university, so I'm just going to name a few. The number one reason why I'm leaving is because I feel like you're not getting your money's worth at Hampton. You're paying $40,000, and for what? You don't really know where your money is going. Plus, it's getting more expensive, so $40,000 is just right now. By the time I'm a senior, it'd probably be up to $50,000. I don't know. So along with that $40,000, I'm paying about 4 times a year to fly back home, and that adds up to about $2,000. And that's just a personal issue. That's because I live far, so that's pretty inevitable. So that's just my thing. $2,000 plus the $40,000 that I'm already paying. It's just for what? Another big thing with me was the dorms. The dorm I lived in my freshman year, it was fine, that was cool, but there was about 300, ooh, my camera died. Back to what I was saying, or where I left off. So, I think I was saying with the dorms. With the dorm that I stayed in my freshman year, there are 300 girls that stay in my dorm, BC Cuties, Virginia Cleveland, and there's 3 washers and 3 dryers. How was gonna work for 300 girls? I'm confused. That just doesn't make sense. And no, it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. That being said, with washing laundry, you have to pay for it each time you wash and dry. I feel like most schools, it comes with your tuition. I don't know. My brother's university comes with tuition. Most of my friends, it comes with tuition. It should come with the $40,000 that we're already paying. That's an extra fee that we don't need to pay. But luckily, if you have a big, they can support you by letting them use your washer and dryer if they live in an apartment. So that's good. So make sure that you have a big, because not to use them or anything, but they're always going to look out for you. If you're close enough with your big, they're always going to look out for you and make sure that your well-being is good. So another big issue was the fact that there aren't a lot of good dorms on campus. I worked really hard my first and second semester to obtain a 3.9 GPA. I worked really hard because I knew that I wanted to get into nicer dorms on campus, because I knew I wasn't going to be staying in an apartment because I wasn't going to have my car. That's another story. Actually, we'll just say it now. You can't have your car until you're a junior, I think. You can kind of finesse the system if you're a sophomore. But if you're not a junior, there's no guaranteed option for you to have a car on campus. So I worked really hard to obtain a 3.9 GPA so I could stay in the dorm whites for my sophomore year. I know that they take priority for people that are in honors college and those that are in student leadership program, but I was hoping that since I had a high enough GPA that I could get into it as well, especially if I met the requirements. I do know that there are plenty of people that are requesting Whitehall, so I had to take into consideration that I'm not the only one trying to get into White, but it was kind of a letdown when I was put into McGrew, which is a pretty mediocre dorm, I would say, and I was put on the 8th floor. So I'm like, okay, I got a 3.9 GPA, and instead of putting me on like the 1st or 2nd floor where it's convenient for me, I get put on the last floor of McGrew. Like, I don't understand how that works. So that really did blow me. I was like, whatever, like, I'll just live in McGrew on the 8th floor. Move-in day process is a lot because the elevators are kind of hard to get a hold of. So you have to take the stairs, and I'd have to go up 8 floors. Like, that's so dead. But it is what it is. I'm sure a lot of people can't get into certain dorms. So I had to be pretty mindful of that it is hard. There's a lot of students that want to get into White, and I'm sure they have good GPA. So I had to be mindful of that. And I was like, dang, like, I got to be on the 8th floor? For real? But I do know there are some other cases that my sophomore friends, they left Hampton thinking they were going to, actually knowing because they got a letter saying which dorm they were going to stay in. And then they got to summer and received an email saying that they were put in another dorm with freshmen. For sophomores, why are we living with freshmen? Especially if you told us something different when we were leaving. They're a little outdated, and I know that's how most HBCUs are. And you have to realize that before you go to one. A lot of them are a little outdated, especially Hampton University. So you have to keep that in mind. And I mean, I did know that before I went there, but you don't really know until you get there, if that makes sense. It's all good though, you know, you gotta be flexible. You gotta be flexible when you go to Hampton. You have to be flexible. That is something you have to be. The cafeteria was an issue. I was very naive coming into Hampton. I knew people that had gone there in the past or that went there before me, and they would tell me like, be prepared for that nasty cafeteria food. And when I first got there, I was like, this cafeteria food is not that bad. Like, y'all are tripping. This fried chicken Wednesday is popping. Like, I was always so excited to go to fried chicken Wednesday because that was new for me. It was bomb. I was like, this is great. Y'all tripping. Eventually, as time goes by, the staff of the cafeteria really just stopped caring, and they don't care what they're feeding us. Like that's all I can say. Like, you're eating pretty much the same food every time. The blandest food. It's just kind of nasty. So with that being said, since the cafeteria food isn't that good, you could go to the on-campus restaurants, which includes like Chick-fil-A, Subway, Planet Smoothie, okay, if you go to Hampton, you know what I'm talking about. That was bomb. A little Caribbean place that I never was able to try. Along with that, you have to pay for it. It's not like you can use your card or your pirate card and swipe it and it covers it for you. You have to pay for those extra things. Besides Chick-fil-A and Planet Smoothie, you have to pay for it. So that's just extra charges. I'm just like, can we get some places where we can use our pirate card and not have to pay for it when the cafeteria is slacking? That's all I wanted. I wanted some good food, especially coming from Houston where the food is bomb. And my mama be cooking some bomb food. I was really just hungry. I was hungry. So also they have off-campus restaurants that are pretty good. Like if you go to the Peninsula Town Center, they have those off-campus restaurants that you do have to pay for, but transportation becomes an issue. If you don't have a car, you have to Uber, and Uber can cost you up to $30, especially when the surges are bad. The surges second semester were, I don't know what was going on with Uber, but it cost about $30 to go to Cookout, which is 10 minutes away. It cost me $90 to get to the airport. So if you don't know anyone that doesn't drive, you're gonna be broke trying to go places. So I feel like once you're able to have transportation, your own transportation, and you don't have to depend on people, it's just so much easier. So I feel like freshman year is just the worst because you don't have your own transportation and you have to depend on people. And I'm the type of person, I don't like depending on people, you know? I like to do things on my own. I don't like having to ask people. I don't like having to bug people for a ride. If you have a big and you're close enough with them, they're not gonna have a problem with them taking you. But there are some people that will be a little stingy with it because, you know, that's gas. But thankfully Hampton did come up with a shuttle bus in late April, I think. They just started it, so I think they're gonna have it in fall 2017 as well. So they did start it the last few weeks I was at Hampton. It is very convenient because it takes you to the main places that you can go to in Hampton, Virginia. I think that's going to be really beneficial for those who don't have rides and they don't want to Uber or take a Lyft or whatever. So, good job, Hampton. But you do have to pay for it. It doesn't, like, it's not free. It doesn't come with tuition. You have to pay for it, which is annoying as well because it's just an extra fee that you really don't have to pay. Like, just extra fees because HBCUs want their money. Hampton wants their money, and it's just like, look, bro, like, y'all are so aggravating. Just let me be a student. Like, you already know I'm broke. Like, chill out. Another issue was with Hampton. I feel like it was the same thing every day, every weekend. There wasn't a lot to do. I just feel like it was the same thing every weekend. We would go to a Holland and we would apartment hop, and we were just so isolated from everything. Like, we're pretty much trapped on campus because that's everything that goes on at Hampton University is on campus. Another big reason was the Hampton University Health Center. If anyone has been to the health center, you will know that they really don't care about you. I'm telling you, like, I don't care. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They don't care about you. My first semester, I was in and out of the health center just for a reason. The first time I went to the health center, I was in an accident and I was punctured near my thigh area. Long story. It happened on a Friday night. So the health center is closed on the weekends, so you have no choice but to go somewhere else for help. So I had to go to urgent care, which was fine. I went to urgent care and they just advised me to ice it when I get back to campus, do all that, blah, 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 blah. So on Monday morning, I went to the health center. I asked them, can I have some ice for my injury? And they said, you have to make an appointment. And I was like, for some ice? And they said, yeah, you have to make an appointment. I was like, okay, when's the next available appointment? They said Thursday. It's Monday. And I have to wait till Thursday to get some ice. And mind you, the health center was the only place I could get some ice because at the cafeteria, you can't take ice out of the cafeteria, which is understandable. In the student center, like the Chick-fil-A, you have to pay for ice, which I did anyways because I was like, I need to get ice from somewhere. They said that you have to see a doctor first before they can give you anything. So stupid. So I was like, you know what? It's cool, whatever, fine, that's cool. The second time I went to the health center, I had a mysterious bite on my leg. I don't know what it was from. It was not a mosquito bite. It was so bad. If anyone knows, if anyone saw it, it was horrible. So when I first noticed it, I was concerned. So I went to the health center and I said, I have a bite on my leg that needs to be checked out immediately because this doesn't look right. They again said, you have to make an appointment. I was like, okay, when's the next available appointment? They said in 2 days. Okay, no, I'm not waiting this long to see what's wrong with my leg. Like, that's ridiculous. I was so fed up at that point because I was like, I don't know what this bite on my leg. I think it was a spider bite, but it was so bad. Like, my whole thigh, it was on the back of my leg. My whole thigh was swollen. It was so bad. So I was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to go Uber to the I don't know where I went. It wasn't urgent care. It was somewhere else off campus. And I ended up having to like numb my leg and they had to like cut it open. It was a really big deal. Yeah, so with that being said, the health center, I don't know what's going on with them. They really need to improve their customer service. Needs to be more friendly because they're not friendly at all. And the people at the front desk, they're not licensed. I think that's just an HBC, I don't know. I don't even want to knock HBCUs down because I really enjoyed going to HBCUs. Like, but I will say that the faculty, they're just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them. It was just like the little things adding up, and I was like, I can't take it anymore. I just had to realize that it's just not the school for me. As much as I love Hampton, I love the people, I loved being about Black, educated, prospering, lit Black people. I really loved it. It's 12 to 2's lit. The people, I will say I love them, but just like the environment I was in and the faculty and the staff and the stuff that Hampton provides, I was just like, I can't. That's all it was, as much as I loved it. Hampton to me, it was just like, to put it into perspective, is like the boyfriend that you love, but he's just not the one for you. Also, another big reason, I did change my major from journalism to nursing. Hampton's journalism program is bomb, super bomb. Everyone is always doing their thing in Scripps Howard Journalism School, in Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications. The professors are amazing. I loved my advisor. Everyone was so amazing there. But I do know that there, a lot of the professors at Scripps is leaving this year. But I did change my major to nursing, and from what I've heard, the nursing program at Hampton is not the best. In fact, they may or may not have lost their accreditation. So there really wasn't a point of me to stay if I was going to change my major. I might as well go to a school where I know that I'm going to be successful in my major, you know? And in fact, I was originally going to stay a semester to see how things were going to go. I was going to stay in fall 2017. But when I decided to change my major over the summer, I was like, there's really no point in me trying to stay and trying to see if I'm going to get a feel of things and end up liking Hampton, if I'm going to change my major, you know? I was like the icing on the cake when I changed my major. I was like, I can't stay. So I will be attending the University of Houston for a lower price. I feel like the University of Houston will give me the necessities that I did not have at Hampton. I hope so, at least. I'm hoping I will have an amazing semester. I really hope that I keep in touch with all the amazing people that I met at Hampton. And, good thing, I loved going to an HBCU. TSU, Texas Southern, is right down the street from University of Houston. I can get that, the enjoyance of U of H, living good, and then still get the, you know, the HBCU experience down the street. So it's just a win-win situation for me. So I'm really excited. These are the reasons why, pretty much all the reasons why I chose to transfer from Hampton University. So everyone, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope to see y'all soon.